So this video was supposed to be all about taking this car to the dyno, seeing how much power it makes on E85, which is clearly more than what it made previously, because we're running much faster times at the track. And unfortunately, that's not what this video is going to be about. It's going to have some dyno runs in it, but the purpose of this video kind of changed as the events went on. I've been trying to live stream as much as I can lately, and for some reason, people love to call me out on my tune, like my tune is wrong. But really what I want to get out in this video is, just because you have a Holly Terminator or Holly whatever, or some other sort of self-tuning computer, all of a sudden people think that everything on this car is the tune, or whatever car that you run. It's got to be the tune, it's got to be the tune. And I'm really here to show you that, like, sometimes maybe the tune is the issue, but I think the most powerful thing about these tools is that you can data log, you can get data, you can see what's wrong with an engine. When you try things to fix problems within your tune, and when it doesn't fix it, when it just continually shows you the same result, that's when you need to start looking at what is mechanically wrong with this thing. Yeah, I made on nothing, I made on no boost, I made 309, I think.
You said, what was the commanding for air fuel? You're saying like 12.3?
12.2 at 3 pounds, 12.5. Okay, so yeah, we must have
12.3?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna, so you got out of it?
I also got out of it, yeah.
You got out of it and then you hit the red button like down here.
Yeah.
So we got that. So your air fuel goes up and then comes back. So it can be kind of difficult to discern what's going on there. So what we can do, we'll change this one. Time. So now we can see, but you were like 12.3, 12.3.
Yeah, okay, so we must have been just a small, like just under 3 pounds, which is about what it makes him.
Yeah. And you didn't, well, you kind of repped it out a little bit.
Yeah.
50,
I only saw
55.
Did it go to 55?
Yeah.
I only saw 5.
Oh, no, that's seconds. Shit, my bad.
I only saw 5,000 in the car.
Man, 53. Well, you, whatever you want to do, man. You want to do that one again and log it?
Yeah, I want to log that one. About 309 on gas.
How much time is that?
Actually, and I did take a whole bunch of timing out.
Before we start worrying about 317 or anything, let's get some data on one.
Alright guys, so the dyno didn't go too great. Got the car pulled apart a little bit too. So basically what was happening was the car wasn't just not making the power that I thought it was going to make. It was picking up a lot of power down low, 30 to 60 horsepower in some spots. But then as it got in the upper RPM range, it was just not making it, breaking up. The car started breaking up on the last few pulls, and I was like, man, something is going on. Something's not right. And so we ended up I was like, you know what, let me just do a pull, make 500, call it a day. So the car made 501 horsepower, like 480 torque on, it was like 12 pounds almost, which is still really low. And then I ended up doing a live stream. I let it out in the live stream like, hey, you know, the car only made about 500 horsepower. I was kind of disappointed. I know I got some valve float issues coming on, which some of the valves were loose. I went through and I just did a whole new valve adjustment. Either way, I still think we need springs. You know, some people were like, man, I'm worried about your tune. The tune's fine, right? We're using the dyno as a tool. Throw fuel in it, take fuel out of it, spark up and down, or down and up, and then really dial the thing in so we can see what it does. And you know, I pull out the plugs, check them, see how the fuel and stuff and everything is doing. Really, I can only get to that one side, especially when the engine's hot. But I mean, it looked pretty solid. You know, people jump right to the tune right away. Something's wrong with your tune. Something's wrong with the tune. Before anyone had a Holley anything on their car, nobody talked about the tunes on these cars. They'd be like, hey, I got a problem with X, Y, and Z. Let me look into it. Mechanical issues don't just go away because you have a Holley on your car. And then everything is not just tune related, okay? If you have an issue with your car, definitely the first place to look is data log it, get data, you look at your tune, but mechanical problems don't just go away because you have a Holley Terminator. And the answer is always not, it's your tune, it's gotta be your tune. And so long story short, came back to the house, you know, was kind of perplexed, if I could use that word. Like, why did this thing only make, you know, I should have made 550 and I was lowballing. And the reason for that, and so here's the plugs that came out of the driver's side of the car. Not terrible. I think they're one heat range too cold, but either way, not terrible. They look okay. They got a nice little, you know, fire ring on them. Wasn't really horrible. Driver's side though, one of these is not like the other. So what ended up happening, and I tested already, this plug was just not firing at all. And it's clear as day. If you can look, each one of them has that black kind of fire ring around the top, except for that guy, which was not firing at all. And upon further investigation, so I have these little boots that go over so they don't touch against the header, and yeah. As you can see, this is why that spark plug was failed. So at the end of the day, this thing made 500 horsepower on 7 cylinders. You know, I wish we could have went up there and hung like a 550 or 570 or something like that, but whatever. 500 is still respectable. It can obviously do more. The other thing too, we ran out of fuel pump. I ran out of injector a while back, did injectors. I can run a little bit more boost than I was running previously, but yeah, we ran out of fuel pump pretty hard up towards the top. Gonna order a different fuel pump for it. Not right now, but I've actually got a fuel pump in mind. Probably gonna go with the Holley Dominator 1800, which is good for E85. It's basically like a dual 380 liter fuel pump, and I can actually turn one on, only have one run, and then when I go into boost, it'll turn the other one on. I gotta see if I got enough outputs for that though. But anyway, you know, when you go to the dyno, realistically the numbers don't lie. It's a tool for dialing in your car, making sure the car is running as good as it's supposed to, as safe as you can, unless you're, you know, you really can set your limits there. I know with what I was doing, I can add about 1.5 degrees if I want to make an extra 10 or so horsepower to, you know, put the thing on kill basically. As far as air fuel, it's again same thing. I got it to where it was making the most power. It made a little bit more power with like a 0.1% fuel taken out of it. I just threw that fuel back in, and I actually might even throw another one on top of it just to be on the safe side, because it wasn't, you know, when you start losing onesies and twosies in horsepower, it's pointless to, you know, make the engine run either leaner or more timing just for handsfuls of horsepower. So I already got new plugs. I'm about to throw the new plugs in right now, fire it up. And then we got some actually pretty good stuff coming for you. I'm going to be tuning a car on. I'm going to rent out Josh's dyno again. I'm going to tune a customer car for you guys. So, you know, regular guy who doesn't know anything, going to tune a customer's car. We'll show how much power and stuff that makes, all that good stuff. And then the week after, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag because we're still working on it, but tentatively, we have a very good science project where we're going to strap this car down to the dyno again. We're going to make some pulls, and then we're going to make some drastic changes. Let me wait for this dude to rip by. So we're going to make some pulls, then we're going to do some drastic changes, which should be really interesting. We're going to answer some questions that always get asked, and you know, people just stay tuned for it. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this one. You know, dyno didn't go the way we wanted it to, but we found out why, figured out the problem, and we're going to fix it right now. So, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.